So today is going to be kind of a interesting day, and this weekend as well. I'm actually flying down to LA today. Well, no, I'm flying to San Diego and then I'll be flying back from LA, but I'm flying down to San Diego because I'm going to a kind of a continuing education seminar for my work. So I'm going to be in conferences and stuff all day Saturday and Sunday. While I'm down there, I'm staying with a buddy of mine who some of you may know as Ryan Wolleson, and he has an exceptional collection of emerald true boas, Batesii and Caninus. While I'm down there staying with him and his wife, thank you to you both for opening up your doors to me, I'm going to do a video. And not only that, I'm also going to do a video on some of his Satanic leaf-tail geckos, because they're a species that has always intrigued me a little bit, but I don't know very much about them at all. I do love geckos, especially geckos from rainforest habitats. I think it'll be pretty fun. Ryan is a really cool guy. I've known him for a long time, so I'm excited to detox with him the few nights I'll be there after, all the, work stuff during the day. And we're gonna give you guys a couple videos while I'm down there. So should be fun. Stay tuned. I'll see you guys on the flip side. What's up, guys? So I have made it here to the airport. Let's get going and start making our way to the gate. See you guys in a few. Hey, what's up, everybody? Jeff here with Godbold Exotics. I'm here with Ryan Wolleson, and we are standing in front of some of his Satanic leaf-tail gecko cages, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about for this episode. We're going to just chat a little bit about some of his Satanics, and maybe you can answer a few questions, and we'll show you guys some cool geckos.
Let's get this little one, captive bred female.
Hey guys, you have me working the camera, so bear with me.
So they're kind of unique. One of the things, and this isn't 100% true all the time, but kind of just one of the things to decipher between male and female are, and I'll have to show you a male to really give you a good idea. This is a female. Usually males will kind of have little white dots on the side of their eye here, almost like little teardrops. Males will also have little notches out of their tail. So the smooth tail and there's not really any white on the side of this animal, kind of lets you know that it's more than likely a female. As they get older, if you look at the base of the tail, there's no real bulge there, no hemipenal bulge or whatever you want to call it. That kind of also lets you know that it's a female. And then of course when you get eggs, you know it's for sure a female.
Cool. I'm gonna sit this back down real fast. How did you get into Satanics? Like what kind of grabbed your attention about them first?
Good friend of mine had them and just always talked about them. I had really never seen them before, and just kind of his interest, I guess, sparked my interest, and I started looking at them, and I mean, they're just really cool animals. The nice thing is they stay really small. I mean, we're basically in, guest bedroom here, have, 6 tanks set up on this rack here with a little misting system. And so it's just really nice that, you can have multiple animals in a fairly small space.
What are these, like a 12 by 12 by 18?
Yeah, 12, 12, 18. These are zoom eds.
That's pretty small for adult geckos.
Yeah, it is. It is. So yeah, that was kind of, I guess for me, one of the things is, small geckos, so they don't really pose a lot of the issues that you have with larger geckos and housing and cleaning and feeding and all that kind of stuff. So it worked out really nice for me. So
cool. Could I grab one other one real quick and I'll show the viewers?
And it's funny, they also kind of bark at night sometimes.
Oh, that's cool.
And so a lot of people think that, Satanic leaf-tail geckos, they look like they have little horns. They think they look like, Satan, devil, whatever. But really the reason they get the name is because of their bark. And so
that is awesome.
But if you look at his tail, at the very base of it, you can see slight notches there. And then you can also see his little, on the side of his eye. I don't know if you can see that. See that white dot?
Yep.
Like a little teardrop?
You can see that.
Yeah. So that's kind of how they decipher the males. And when they're younger, they'll have that pretty much right from when they're first hatched. So their tail and the teardrops will always be there. And then You can see his little bulge here at the base of his tail. He's an adult animal, so that also lets you know he's a male. And like I said, it's not always 100% true. The females can have the same characteristics as males, and it's kind of cool when they do, really. But yeah, so
that is so awesome. Cool. They are so unique.
And like you were asking earlier, you know, if they color up or change colors. If you remember when he first pulled this little guy out, he was pretty kind of washed out, and he's really gotten a lot of dark tones to him now.
Yeah, you can, especially around here on the back. It's totally gotten darker since we've had him out.
So yeah, these guys pretty much eat like about 1/4-inch crickets. I've got a little dubia colony that I feed the baby dubia to them, and I've got them used to feeding out of these little. There's actually little tea light containers.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so I pack them down in the soil because they kind of like to try and eat through the side, but you get them used to feeding out of those little cups. It works really well.
What are some pitfalls that people run into with these guys? I mean, there's a lot of folks that are into geckos that don't really want to dabble with the leaf tails because they've heard a lot of, you know, stigma and a lot of things.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think for the biggest issue is temperature. You know, not everyone can, you know, air condition their house. A lot of people keep these guys somewhere around the 72-ish range or so. Cooler always seems to be better. They have reports of them in the wild as low as, like, I believe mid-40s, 50s even, out active feeding and so on, hunting. Pretty interesting little geckos. So that's, I think, the biggest problem is that if you start creeping up into the 80s, you might lose an animal. I've also heard other keepers say that it's really more dependent on humidity, making sure they're well hydrated and so on. That's another thing. You really need either to hand mist them, you know, every few days because they're drinking water off the leaves.
They look like little dragons.
Yeah. Yeah, and with these geckos, sometimes when they drop their tails, you know, they won't regenerate them like some of the other geckos do. So
kind of like a crested gecko
thing. Yep. Yeah, and I think a lot of people that keep cresteds are really getting into these guys as well.
Oops, I'm covering them up. This one's kind of an orange color.
Yeah, each one's a little different. That's the other really cool part about it. Some will even look like they have little pieces of moss stuck to them.
I was trying to show the viewers the little, like little fat pockets, or I guess they're calcium pockets right here on the neck.
Yeah, they're like little calcium sacs. So
yeah.
The females really develop those pretty well.
So does that tell you that gecko is healthy when the larger those sacs are, or is it something that they just need for breeding?
Yeah, I think they use them a lot for, producing eggs. I'm not sure as far as, you know, if they have them or if they don't, if that's a way to assess kind of if they're healthy. Some of them are really kind of neat underneath as well. I think this one's, well, it's not going to
Trying to keep you in frame here. Hey, we're not professionals when it comes to filming. They're pretty placid. People say that you can't really hold them. I get that they're not a gecko that you want to hold a lot. They seem to be fairly tolerant.
Yeah, I think they just stress pretty easily.
Right.
You know, the other thing is that there's a lot of the wild caught animals are coming in, and so they stress a lot easier than I think some of the animals that are produced here in captivity. So that might have something to do with it. You know, we don't really know what's going on internally, and if, you know, I believe that some people, they will try and deworm them when they notice issues, but it's always hard to know what to use, and they're so small that I think there might be keeper error there as well. But
yeah.
There's always ins and outs.
So. Right. How many eggs do these guys have? 1 to 2?
Well, like for instance, this female here, she's been laying duds, you know, hasn't been with a male. And so I've been trying to pair her up with a male, but they just haven't figured out yet, or I haven't gotten the temps down low enough yet. She's laid 3 just within these last 4 months. It kind of just depends on, you know, how much they have in reserves and so on.
I don't know anything about them, so...
Yeah, I know. I'm still learning. This is fairly new to me here. Some of these animals that picked up from a friend, Leland Ward, and so he's does really well with them. So I got some really nice animals from him, and they just been pretty much rock solid from day one. So it's been pretty cool learning experience for me. So.
For any of you guys that are watching this, if you guys keep these guys, you successfully bred them, could you leave a comment below and let us know what your experiences have been, pros, cons? I think that these guys are really unique. They seem to come out in a myriad of different colors.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, each one's different. You know?
Yeah.
Each
so
one's different.
That strikes me as something really unique about them. You look at some of the other species that are like that, they're pretty popular. These guys, from what I have read, thrive in a naturalistic setup. Typically with reptiles, you can keep fairly, minimal or naturalistic, and there's not some huge difference. But I've heard that with Satanics, you don't want to go simplistic. You want to make sure it's like this.
Yeah, I think once babies hatch out, a lot of the breeders that I've talked to and seen pictures, they have like a damp paper towel, but once again, like he's saying, there's artificial plants in there, tons of cover, so there's spots for them to hide. And I think that, like you said, that's a really big thing there for them, is just having that extra cover to kind of feel safe and at home. So yeah,
cool.
For sure, naturalistic setups.
I appreciate you taking these out.
Yeah.
For those of you guys, if you want to get a hold of Ryan.
So I'm Reptiles Wild, and I'm on Facebook as well, Ryan Wolleson. Comment, send me a message, whatever. I always enjoy talking with fellow keepers. And like I said, I'm still kind of young, new to them, so always enjoy listening to what everyone has to say. Yeah.
All right, guys, cool. Well, we appreciate you tuning in. Make sure that you guys, if you want to get a hold of me, you can hit me up on my Gmail account at godboldexotics@gmail.com. You can also reach me on Instagram or Facebook. If you want to get involved, if you want to get some more exclusive content, make sure you head on over to our Patreon page and support the channel. Doesn't have to be much. But that's patreon.com/Godbold Exotics. Until next time, you guys have been watching Godbold Exotics. Thanks.